Democrats assess the benefits and dangers of losing Biden. While party members discussed whether or not to support him in the future, President Joe Biden attempted to revitalize his flagging re-election campaign on Sunday. There are significant doubts over the president's physical and mental fitness to serve as president after his dismal debate performance last week. Friday's primetime interview with ABC stoked more rumors over the future of his candidacy. Mr. Biden made 2 appearances at campaign rallies on Sunday in Pennsylvania, a crucial swing state, despite the unpredictability. Despite the president's efforts, some Democrats are still considering the advantages and disadvantages of retaining the 81-year-old Biden at the top of the ticket. Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader in the House, called a conference with top Democratic members on Sunday afternoon, and it was rumored that they talked about Joe Biden's candidacy. According to CBS, the U.S. news partner of the BBC, 4 people on the conversation expressed the opinion that Biden ought to resign. At least 3 others reportedly voiced doubts about his prospects in November, according to sources. Over the weekend, a number of prominent Democrats also discussed their positions in televised interviews with the goal of answering the question, is it riskier to support or reject Mr. Biden? If Mr. Biden stays in office, some believe the party may lose to Donald Trump in November, but others assert that there are a lot of unknowns when it comes to his replacement. Some see promise in starting over. Requesting the president's resignation might provide some much-needed respite in the midst of the repercussions from Mr. Biden's appalling debate performance. That's what some Democrats, even those who openly support the president, have stated, implying that worries about his age and mental capacity had become harder to overlook. Representative Adam Schiff of California stated on Sunday that the discussion rightfully raised questions among the American people about whether the president has the vigor to defeat Donald Trump. In his interview with NBC News, Mr. Schiff refrained from advocating that Biden should resign, a stance that has been publicly adopted by 5 House Democrats thus far. Rather, Mr. Schiff advised him to decide whether he thought he was the ideal candidate to run by consulting with someone who had distance and objectivity. Given Joe Biden's incredible record, given Donald Trump's terrible record, Biden, should be mopping the floor with Donald Trump, said Schiff. It should not be even close, and there's only one reason it is close, and that's the president's age. While Trump recently turned 78, Mr. Biden is 81 years old. Voters are becoming more and more adamant about the ages of both candidates. According to polls, some left-leaning voters appear to be losing faith in Mr. Biden. 86% of Democrats said they would back Mr. Biden in a Wall Street Journal poll that was published on Friday. This is a decrease from 93% in February. In other areas as well, a different candidate might present a fresh start. Voters had criticized Mr. Biden on a number of policy fronts prior to this surge of Democratic concern, including how he handled the U.S. economy and the immigration situation at the southern border. Progressive voters who disagreed with the president's attitude to Israel's assault in Gaza posed a threat of defecting. He lost the February primary in Michigan, a critical swing state, to their resistance, which cost him more than 100,000 votes. In an interview with Fox News on Sunday, former Ohio Representative Tim Ryan claimed that a Biden ticket is going to drag everybody else down. I think you're going to see a significant amount of pressure, whether it's today or tomorrow, sometime this week, as members come back that this may be untenable for them. Some argue that there's too much risk in the unknown. According to several Democratic leaders, the risks associated with losing Mr. Biden may outweigh any potential benefits. The majority of what would happen if the president stepped down is still unknown. Who would succeed Mr. Biden and how? How would that contender perform in a matchup with Trump? Furthermore, a number of Biden supporters have recently emphasized the dangers of taking a different path while maintaining that Mr. Biden has a track record of success. On Sunday, 82-year-old Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont declared, "Biden is old" on CBS News. His articulation has diminished over time. "I wish he could hop up the Air Force One stairs. He is unable to." The vast majority of people in this country have benefited from and will continue to benefit from the policies that we must concentrate on. At an event on Saturday in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, California Governor Gavin Newsom, who spent the weekend endorsing the presidential candidate, made the same statement. "The hypothetical impedes the advancement of this candidacy's promotion," Mr. Newsom stated. "This internal conflict is exactly where the other side wants us to be, and I think it's really counterproductive." Public defenders of Mr. Biden claim that Trump's Republicans stand to gain directly from his replacement, as they can claim their rivals are mired in intra-party strife. On CNN on Sunday, Representative Debbie Dingell of Michigan stated, "We've got to stop talking about this. We've been together for a week. Republicans are enjoying themselves greatly. We really ought to resume discussing Donald Trump and his performance." A middle ground for Harris's retention. Kamala Harris, the vice president of Joe Biden, was proposed as a possible replacement earlier this week by former Ohio Representative Tim Ryan. He stated in an opinion piece for Newsweek, "I firmly believe that Kamala Harris is our best path forward." Those who say that a Harris candidacy is a greater risk than the Joe Biden we saw the other night and will continue to see are not living in reality. The notion that Miss Harris, 59, should replace Mr. Biden has gained traction in recent days, despite the fact that she has only shown devoted support for the senator. Adam Schiff, the congressman, stated that Miss Harris might defeat Trump overwhelmingly in his Sunday morning interview. As a vice president and potential 2020 Democratic candidate, her backers assert that she has already been through a campaign and is well known to the Democratic establishment and its funders. According to former DNC chair Donna Brazile, Miss Harris knows the job on ABC on Sunday. To ask the delegates elected to the convention who are Biden-Harris supporters to bypass Kamala Harris, it would be political malpractice. However, what attracts her supporters may also be a turnoff. Voters may not be upset with Biden solely because of his age, and Miss Harris may be affected by the administration's past policy decisions.